Come on in and sit down. You cut the hardcore crew chewing the fat. You cut us shooting the shit. You cut us in the moment. You're not happy about Seth Rollins winning the title?
No, not really, because he's not going to fight on. He proved it on Raw on Monday. He just chickens off everybody. He's going to carry that as long as he carries money in the bank.
So WrestleMania?
He's just going to shy clear of everybody that wants fighting.
You know, a lot of people are not really happy about Seth Rollins winning the title, but you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. I think he deserves it. You know, look at the people that he's been fighting. He's been a top-of-the-line guy, so I think, why not? You know, Joe, what do you think?
If you base it on, I agree. You know, I gotta say, I condone the behavior of the sexy selfies, because then it just shows, okay, you could do whatever you want, and there's no consequences to it all. You know, that's one of the problems I see with our society is, like, nobody takes a stand for, like, something. Like, you can get away with stupidity and crap like that, and technically you get stuff handed to you. I think that's the wrong message. What they should have done was let him lose, let him humble himself, and then, you know what? Give him a different match with someone else. Let him earn his little, you know, get out of penalty box. Then, you know, then win the title. I like I said, I agree he's the capable guy to become champion, but there was nothing for him to, like, nobody punished him for anything. So it just shows me that Triple H, rewards stupidity.
I agree, because sorry, Joe, as far as I'm concerned, what he's done, whether people laugh about it or not, is as bad as what Jeff Hardy did, in my honest opinion. And if I know Rick's going to try and defend, because I know what how Rick feels, but think about it from like what Joe's just said. This guy supposed to be an intelligent guy now, and when you're the world champion, you're supposed to think company Ed. Not go and take pictures of your cock and post them on the fuck, or send them to your girlfriend. Do you ever see John Cena getting in any shit? None whatsoever. This guy, first chance he's got of making an headline star, and his douchebag fucking girlfriends posted pictures of his knob, because he's daft enough fucking take them and send them to her. That's not what a champion does.
Well, you know what?
Whether he's young or not, John Cena was young when he started, and he never posted pics. You find anything like really...
He never got caught. Let's be honest. He never got caught.
To be perfectly honest, I just don't see... Yes, we've probably all taken pictures of ourselves, and this, that, and the other. You've probably got pictures of ex-girlfriends naked and stuff. Would you give her the pictures of you? Fucking no, there isn't one girl on this planet that's got a picture of me naked. I've got plenty of pictures of ex-girlfriends in my property naked. Would I give pictures of me away to anybody? Fucking no chance. For that one reason.
And what you're saying is very fair. But, you know, again, I'm not saying what he did there was very, very fair. But, you know, you have to understand that at the end of the day, I don't think it was something that he's saying, hey, look, you know, I'm going to go flash my shit hoping this is going to get caught and this is going to destroy. I don't think he should have his career destroyed over this. Yeah, he fucked up.
He shouldn't have it destroyed, but he should be made an example of that this isn't how we want our superstars. I know,
but you know what,
though? It's hypocritical because it happens in the world all the time, and we're probably all guilty at some way, shape, or form of doing something that we're not proud of. But I think the WWE have this attitude that they wrap you in cotton wool and you should not shit on them. And it's looked on as though he's shit on them. He's taken a picture of his genitals, sent it to his girlfriend, she's exposed him. Vince has got the same attitude I've got now. How fucking stupid are you? People on the planet today want to make money out of whatever they can. And if your ex-boyfriend is a WWE star and you've got pictures of his genitals, you're going to fucking show him so you can get a couple of $1,000 off the local paper and a bit of press coverage. He's got to be a fool not to even think that.
Yeah, and like I said, I don't disagree. Nobody here disagrees that what he did was stupid. It was a foolish mistake, and you know what? I think he paid for it one way or another, whether he got paid for a fine. But you know, the fact that he should not become a champion, I'm sorry. I still think he's an incredible wrestler. He has all the gifts to be that champion. If this had never happened, nobody here in this table would be questioning that. We would not have one question.
I'd much prefer Roman Reigns. I mean, I don't know why the fans will not accept Roman Reigns, but he is the new Daniel Bryan.
Now, you know what? I think I can answer that. And Rick, I want your opinion on this. Could it possibly be that the reason they didn't accept him, one, because of Daniel Bryan, but two, because it'll be another Rock. It's not he. You know, let's say the guy got far in his merits. On his own skills and everything, but how far would he have gone not being related to The Rock?
First, I want to answer that. As far as The Rock situation, I think that has nothing to do with it. Yeah, it gave him a little bit of an extra push, but I think he got, like you said, he got out on his own merits. But the reason why the fans hate him, and it has strictly to do with the fact that, it wasn't Daniel Bryan that went to WrestleMania, so the fans hate him. That is why. This is all about Daniel Bryan, period. And the fans, as you know, Joe, and everybody at this table knows, even Lance would agree, the fans are fickle. Lance, would you agree?
Yes. I believe first time I heard it was Michael P.S. Hayes when he was Doc Hendricks back in the old days. Or, no, it was King. The fans are fickle. They'll turn.
Well, do you know what made me laugh? I read on TMZ webpage that the best-selling T-shirt, and before anyone says yes to children, the answer is no, extra large and above, so there must be some rather obese children in the USA. The best-selling T-shirt on the Monday Night Raw market stall, whatever you want to call it, was the new John Cena shirt. So it makes me piss and giggle myself when they all go, Cena sucks, Cena sucks, and they go and buy his fucking T-shirt.
Well, you know what, guys?
Now people are going to bitch and say, yeah, the only people that like John Cena are women and young kids. There's either some very fat women out there or some very obese children that take extra large, double extra large, and treble extra large T-shirts. So there's a lot of fucking hypocrites out there.
Either that or there's a lot of big-breasted women.
Yeah, I mean, I'll go on record to say I don't care. I like John Cena. I think he deserves everything he gets. Who cares if he's only got 5 moves? So did fucking Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, Stone Cold Steve Austin. Need I go on? You don't need moves to be a superstar. You need talent.
We are, guys, in the moment, and of course, this past Sunday was WrestleMania31. I know a lot of people didn't care for WrestleMania. We do have some comments from some of our fans over at our G Plus account. We'll be mentioning that in a little bit, but I want to talk to everybody here and get some of their thoughts. We're not going to go for each match, but I just want to talk to you guys and ask what your personal favorite matches were. Joe, I'm going to start with you.
I hate to say it, but my personal favorite match was the Sting Triple H match. For the common reason, it was very good. Sting showed that he can stay in there with Triple H. But I said it on the program that it would be a lot better if they would have had DX come down in the NWO or a fragment of WCW. And I got that wish. We all did. We got the actual DX team come down and Shawn Michaels, and then you had the NWO. It was kind of a thrilling moment for me. So I think, and it also showed again that Sting is still capable. He can still go in there. He to me, in my opinion, he wrestled far better than he was in TNA.
Yeah, I agree that he definitely had to bring it that much more over in WWE, especially on a stage like WrestleMania. And when he came out on that stage, he looked like he was almost awestruck. Was it me? Did anybody else get that?
Well, if what the commentators said was true, and I don't know if it was or it wasn't, it's the biggest, not WrestleMania, but it's the biggest venue he's ever played in. I mean, 72,000 people is a lot of people, and I don't ever recall WCW ever having an arena that big. I mean, I don't know what it must be like, but I can imagine when you're used to fighting in probably 30,000, 40,000 pound seater stadium, fans, seater stadiums, and then suddenly you walk into a stadium that can old, easily 100,000. Must be daunting, even for a top guy.
Well, put it like this: so far WWE and WrestleMania is the biggest crowds he's ever been to, compared to his previous company that's probably had 1,000 people show up at a door.
Yeah, I mean when he
paying them $5 a seat,
when he got halfway, I don't know if you noticed, when he got halfway down the ramp, he stopped and he looked at the crowd, and the camera caught a fantastic look at him as he just went, wow.
Yeah.
Now, for a professional guy as big as Sting to say wow, he was blown away by the spectacle of WrestleMania, or the amount of fans that were there, or maybe a mixture of everything, but I think for the first time in his career, he actually felt like he was somebody to be proud of in himself. He must have known, I've made it. He's made it anyway, but he must have known in his own mind, this is what I've been missing.
Yeah.
Even he must admit that.
Absolutely. Now, Andy, what other matches would you say stood out in your mind?
I do like the Seth Rollins and Randy Orton match, if I must be honest. I was one of them sceptical people that thought WrestleMania this year was going to be the drizzling shit. And it was more watchable, in my opinion, than last year. There was some good matches. And I must admit, I'm just a bit upset in the match that we had to have Lance's favourite guy, Shawn Douchebag fucking Michaels, come in and spoil it. I think it would have been better without him.
All right. Lance, over to you. Your favorite WrestleMania moment and your thoughts.
Yeah.
All right.
You tell them.
I've upset another one with my comments.
Well, you know what, guys? I have to say, the main event for me really was phenomenal. As much as I hate to say, I have to give the devil his due. Brock Lesnar, really, that was one of the few matches that I enjoyed. And the fact that Seth Rollins was added into it, and again, we talked about it earlier, I had to give him kudos. I was shocked that he won, and I really thought that either Roman Reigns or Brock Lesnar was going to win. And when you don't expect a win like that, I was happy, and the fact that it wasn't Brock Lesnar just made me even happier. So, we can all go over again back and forth about why Seth Rollins should or should not have this title. I think he's paid for his dues in one way or another for his sins, but if as a wrestler, I think he's earned it.
I don't know what you guys think. I think it's made Roman Reigns and the fickle characters that were actually at WrestleMania, they are marks and very fickle, that they didn't see that they've made Roman Reigns a far bigger character. And people are probably sitting there listening thinking, how? I'll explain how. They made him look hard because everything that Brock Lesnar threw at him, he sat there and laughed at. People were saying he hadn't got it. People were saying he wouldn't be able to go with Brock Lesnar. Proved you all wrong. He might not have won the match, but he proved to me that he was hard enough. If he can take on Brock Lesnar and come out laughing and smiling, he's a worthy champion who can take on anybody. It's a shame they stole the belt from him.
Let me add one thing, too. Out of that whole match, it was Brock who was bleeding throughout the matches. Roman Reigns took a hell of a beating and never bled. So that's kind of another thing to think about. The man, took a beating, and it was Brock who legitimately hurts people, and he's the one getting hurt.
I mean, how many suplexes did he do? Was it 8 or 9? The crowd were counting, and he just sat up as much as to say, "Is that the best you got, Brock?" And at one point, the camera even caught him, and the commentary team made a big deal about it. He's laughing.
Well, here's another thought, and I want to push this at you for a second. Let's say now we know that Seth Rollins won the title, but now what happens if Roman Reigns goes after Seth Rollins and takes the title from Seth?
Won't happen, for the simple reason. Stephanie's made it quite clear. Whether she slipped up with her comment, but go back and watch it if you don't believe me. I will give you your rematch with Seth Rollins when I think you're good and ready. When I say so. She didn't say with the champion, so that tells me that he's going to keep that belt for quite some time. She slipped up, she dropped a bollock, as we say in the UK. She dropped a big bollock. She made it quite clear with Seth Rollins.
I've seen even Vince McMahon make that mistake in the past, so no, I disagree with you.
I just don't see Roman Reigns taking the title off Seth Rollins anytime soon. Brock Lesnar will be the first person
probably not
to probably challenge him properly.
No, I disagree. Brock Lesnar's going to be gone for the next couple of months, maybe 3 or 4 months, and I'm sorry.
Apart from John Cena, and people are sick of seeing John Cena winning. He's already got a title. Apart from John Cena, who can you actually see is going to challenge him for the title?
Roman Reigns.
But it won't happen. I just don't think it will happen. They won't give Roman Reigns the shot before Brock Lesnar. I don't know whether he's rubbed people up the wrong way in the WWE. I don't know what it is, but it seems like they did with Miz. They've given this tremendous build-up and then just pulled the stool from underneath him. I don't know what he's done. I don't know why the fans seem to think that he's a bit of a douchebag, because when he was in Shield, they cheered for him. But everything he does now, they boo. I mean, Ryback, everyone's taking the piss out of Ryback. Even Randy Orton looked a bit piss-poor on Monday.
All right. Well, let's move on to the Adrian Neville and the Lucha Dragons. They were debuted this past Monday on Raw, and this is obviously showing that the WWE wants some of the more NXT wrestlers to finally move up the ranks. Joe, what were your thoughts about the NXT debuts?
It was really good. It's good to see that they're showcasing the younger talent, and in my opinion, it needs to be done. We need to start bringing in these people to start showcasing them off, bringing them to the main roster, and start slowly pushing away the old guard.
And sorry about that, guys. I just saw my mic was muted.
Oh, sorry about that. Welcome back. We were talking about the debut of Neville and Lucha Dragons. What were your thoughts? About
damn time, and definitely impressive first showings for all three of them.
All right. And Andy, what are your thoughts?
Adrian Neville, I just hope he can keep up the same stamina that he did, but you know my views on that when we had a call yesterday. The Luchador guys, Sin Cara all over again. 5-minute wonder.
I'm glad to see these new NXT talents finally move up the line. I think Neville is going to be a force to be reckoned with, but I don't see him becoming anything special right away. Obviously, they're going to have to move up the ranks like everybody else. So for anybody who thinks that Adrian Neville is going to be the world champion tomorrow or next week or even next year, not going to happen. Lucha Dragons, could they become the WWE Tag Team Champions within the next year? Very quite possible. Tag team champions tend to move up the ranks much more quickly. I think that's the only difference.
Yeah, I think we've brought them in because the tag teams that we've got at the moment we're getting stale of watching the same teams fight all the time. So
exactly.
Yeah,
they brought a new team into the mix.
I mean, how many teams do we got besides them? 5?
You've got the Goldust lot and the Rikishi's.
The Goldust lot's dead.
Yeah,
you got the point there. So
there's
one team gone, one team in.
You have the Usos, Los Matadors, Tyson Kidd and Cesaro, and then you have the Ascension. Let's not even bother with the New Day because it looks like that day is over.
It's a new day, yes it is.
No, it's the New Day Glow.
I think the Ascension. I don't know what you guys feel, but I think the Ascension. I've only actually seen them because I don't watch NXT. Was it last week? And my initial reaction when I saw them in the ring was, "Oh my God, fucking Ring of Honor."
I really wouldn't go that far. I understand how you see that maybe they're kind of newish. Kind of like maybe carny, but I wouldn't go that far.
To me, I know we keep calling for it, and I wish I knew what the answer was, but they look very much like the Nasty Boys stroke. It's like the Nasty Boys have had sex with the Legion of Doom, and that's what's fell out.
All right.
They just look a rather mixed up bunch, and I can't really make out what their gimmick is.
Well,
to me,
are you saying
the Nasty Boys and the Legion of Doom mixed by their ring attire, the face paint, how they are?
Well, who knows? Maybe Sonny's the mother. Because he probably slept with all of them.
She could be quite a few of the mothers. Who knows? You never know.
We do need new talent in there, but I don't think what they are bringing to the table, if that's the right word, is what we're looking for. Because to me, it looks like they've gone back to 1980s, and we're looking for a revamp, not revamping the 80s. We're trying to get away from the 80s, but they They would have fitted in with the guys that I've just mentioned, the Nasty Boys and the Legion of Doom. But it's 2015. They looked too comic book hero-ish, if you understand where I'm coming from.
The problem with the WWE is they knew that nostalgia works for most of the fans, and what they're trying to do is saying, oh, let's create some more nostalgic wrestlers, and you can't do that. The thing is, and me and Joe have talked about this before, about how they love the old classic wrestlers and all the classic gimmicks, and the thing is that nobody has figured out yet is that the wrestlers that are creating their nostalgia today, right now, as we speak, people like, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, people like Dolph Ziggler, they are all creating their own history. They're creating their own legacies now. They will not be nostalgic for another 10 or 15, maybe 20 years until they get ready to retire. It's not going to happen. John Cena is already creating his nostalgia. He'll be coming back when he's 50 or 60, and then people are going to be like, one more match for him. It's just how it works. But he doesn't have his, gimmicky stuff of the 80s. You have to change with the times. If you don't, the company would have died. With WCW, they would have died with the NWA and all the others that WWE ate up. They had to make this change. And the wrestlers have to change with it.
Can I just bring something to the table? There's a question I'd like to ask. Not just the panel, but everybody on the Facebook page. Now, we've probably all watched the Hall of Fame and got bored to tears. But now Alundra Blaze has bought the Divas belt back, or the Women's Championship belt back. Do we think it's going to get bought out and fought for and drop the Divas? Because I think the Divas belt is a bit, I don't know, very pretty, but we expect the Divas belt to be won by the pretty girls. Don't you think we should have a Women's Championship belt where a ugly girl could win it, and it's just a Women's Championship, not a Divas? I mean, if Nicole Bass came back and won the Divas Championship, you'd think, fuck me, she's hardly a diva. I think the Women's Championship would be a far better belt to fight for than the Divas, which has always been a joke.
Can I say something since I'm the Divas person here in HWR?
Yeah, sure.
Well, the only reason why Alundra Blaze brought back the women's title belt was that she had the belt when she went to WCW. And the fact that she threw away in the trash because of Eric Bischoff. It was not her idea, it was more Bischoff's idea to have her drop the belt in the trash instead of giving it back to WWE. And the fact that she hasn't given it back to WWE until now. So what I believe is that I don't think that would be a sign of them bringing back the women's title. I want to see it, even with this, all these news about, the Divas division is getting a change. Gotta be just evolving into changes right now because of the whole hashtag Give Divas a Chance. I just still don't see them dropping the Divas title and putting up the women's title. If they do it, it's gotta be coming from someone like maybe Paige or AJ or Natalia.
Do you think they could do it though, like they did? Sorry, Joe. Do you think they could do it like they've done with when they had two male championships, one for Raw, one for SmackDown, and then it didn't matter where they went? Do you think they could have a Divas champion and a female ladies champion?
Remember, they did that when they introduced the women's title, when they had the brand extension. The only reason why I feel like they've unified it because, they want to give women's or both brands a title to fight for instead of two separate ones. Because it's just more of a brand thing. It's more of a brand.
Does anybody know? Sorry. Does anybody know if that was the actual belt, or is that a revamped belt that either she's had made or the WWE have had made? For the simple reason it looked rather stiff, like when you buy new leather. Didn't look like it had had a couple of years' use, and it looked what I thought rather small, like a replica belt.
No,
that belt was actually the woman's title, because she even said it herself when she pitched it into the trash. She took it out after the program was over, and she put it in a glass case, and leather hardens after a while. Well,
yes.
In my opinion, you're not going to see a woman's title again because they're already set in the ways of divas.
I agree.
You're not going to see that revamp. Plus, let's face it, you don't have women wrestlers. You have little pretty divas who jump up and down.
And
if it was Lita, Trish, Medusa, any women wrestler, then you'll see them going back to it because they can say, hey, we're going back to nostalgia because that's our belt, not some butterfly-looking belt. Because they will fight, but you don't have them no more. So what you have is little Playboy models who are jumping up and down, stuffing bras, and they can't give them a real title, so they say, we'll just give them this little Divas title because they think they're divas.
Yeah. Well, you know what? On top of that, let's be realistic. Even if you wanted to have two belts, you don't have enough divas in the WWE. Or women, or whatever you want to call them, little girls. It doesn't matter. There's not enough females in that division. And that's a simple fact.
That's
so,
exactly right.
I agree. Unless they bring up all the NXT women, no way they are going to bring up two title belts.
Yeah. And I don't think it's necessary. It's just simply it's a lost cause for all of us. But you know what? Let's move on. This past Monday, we saw the return of Sheamus. He came out with a new look and a new attitude, guys. And you know what? A lot of people were shocked about Sheamus's turn, but you know what? I saw it come when he came running down. He had the mohawk. He had the tassels. And it was clearly obvious that he was going to make that turn. Joe, were you shocked at all when you saw the turn?
You know what? The turn didn't shock me with the hairstyle. He went to the Jesse Neal style of haircutting. So, to me, the hairstyle was the only thing that shocked me, but the attitude needed to happen because Sheamus is going to get lost in the shuffle. I think right now that's what he had to do. He had to come out with a better attitude, with a better look. I have to say the mohawk is funny looking, but it's a better look for him. So it works for me. He's on the right track.
All right. Andy, what were your thoughts about Sheamus's new change?
As soon as everybody came in the ring, it was a WTF moment. I think it'll probably grow on me. Is it going to make him a better or different character? No, it's still Sheamus under that stupid mohawk, but I don't know whether it's his idea or the WWF's idea. Whosever idea it is, it's still Sheamus. If you're going to revamp the guy, give him a completely different persona and a completely different look. And sorry, that just looked like Sheamus with a new haircut.
All right. Lance, your thoughts?
Well, Sheamus does work better as heel, but did Brutus the Barber Beefcake cut his hair or something? Because I'm with the crowd. You look stupid. You look stupid.
Well, I said to Lance, I think it was, when we were watching it on the show, or it was Ashley, as he had a rough night in the hotel, and they've done it as a prank while he was asleep. Is it a road story that we're going to hear about? Because it just looks so pathetic.
You know, maybe he just had one draft too many.
Maybe.
You never know. Finally, James, over to you.
Good idea. We knew it was coming for a while, the Sheamus heel turn, so I wasn't surprised of a heel turn. But that haircut is dumb. I'm sorry. I mean, yeah, it screamed heelish, but no with the haircut, no.
So it sounds like another story of good idea, bad idea.
Yeah, I mean,
and I think
a mohawk, to me, being a Brit, a UK person, a mohawk is a punk rock haircut. Punk rock died in the fucking 80s. WWE or Americans, move forward. That's a 1980s haircut, no matter what way you look at it.
Well, maybe they're getting back to what you were saying, Andy, about how the WWE does want them to go more nostalgic. So,
the first thing that struck me when he came out?
What's that?
Fuck me, miracles do happen and Droz can walk.
Oh.
Wow, that's bad. That is so bad.
I thought, God, Darren Drozoff, whatever his name is back. Because that's exactly how it was.
For those of you who are listening to this, Andy speaks for himself. HWI does not back that, not even condone that, even though I'm kind of laughing, so please forgive me.
Bastard.
I would say my favorite match at WrestleMania would be the ladder match because, it was a great match. You have 7 hard workers that, fight for a title that, at one point in time rivaled the WWE title in relevancy. And I give the honorable mention to Triple H Sting. I hated the outcome that Triple H won, but I kind of get it. But also, the only reason why I liked it was the whole nostalgia of DX versus NWO. Kind of had a little mark-out moment at that point in time.
I do want to move on. I do want to get some of our G+ viewers did actually speak out very well about what they thought about WrestleMania. First, Kelly said, it was so boring. I fell asleep. Those damn PG supporters think it was a good WrestleMania. James said, it was a 9 out of a 10. It was amazing, better than last year's WrestleMania. Bruce was probably one of the biggest, had a lot to say about this. I'm just going to paraphrase, so sorry, Bruce. It was 6, to be honest. It was one of the matches feuds that led up to the event. There was no conflict between Lesnar or Reigns. Cena giving the U.S. title to placate, not him being in the main event. Daniel Bryan was actually the brightest spot. And then he also wanted to talk about he was shocked about the Rollins cashing in the money. And he said another big plus was the Sting Triple H match. And, of course, the DX and the NWO being in there was comical. So thank you guys for making your comments in. And please, always make your comments. And put those comments in the comment section below or on our Facebook page. That's facebook.com/Hardcore Wrestling Radio. Or over on our G+ page. Andy, where can everyone find you at?
You can find me at www.stokehaunted.com, hiding under a rock.
All right. We have the Classic Wrestling manager, Joseph Knight. Joe, where can I find you, and what do you got going on?
Well, pretty much we're going to be redoing our CWA, so we expect a nice new logos, new videos. We're excited about it. We're doing a whole new repackage of the company, and we have some stuff we're coming through. So fans can follow me and follow that, CWA, on our Facebook page at facebook.com Classic Wrestling Association, or you can follow me on Facebook as well at Joseph Knight Manager, and you could definitely you won't be able to find Andy at Draws' house, I can tell you that. He ain't going to be invited.
Hey, you know what? Like I said, folks, blame Andy, do not blame Hardcore Wrestling Radio. And, of course, we have the incomparable Lance Moss, and you can always find him over at youtube.com/Lance Moss TV. Lance, what do you got going on?
Album reviews, NASCAR discussion videos, Redneck Normal Cooking videos, musical equipment reviews, some rants, some other random stuff, the archive of controversies and scandals. Don't forget to subscribe, and follow me on Twitter. It's at Lance Moss TV.
And last but not least, we have James from the Big Easy. James, what do you got going on?
I am at Fatboy504 on Twitter. You can find me also on twitch.tv/Fatboy504, where I do mostly PS4 gameplay. And I am on youtube.com/JPD70129, just do random stuff, so nothing special there.
Alright, folks, and as always, you can find us over at facebook.com/Hardcore Wrestling Radio. And if you want to listen to more podcasts like this, please check us out and subscribe to us over at youtube.com/HWR Show. So for everyone here, I'm your hardcore host, Rick Head, saying we'll see you when we see you. Thank you for listening to this edition of In the Moment. Make sure you follow us at any one of our locations, whether it's YouTube, Dailymotion, and now SoundCloud.com under the name HWR Show. Until the next time, this is your hardcore host, Rick Head, saying we'll see you when we see you.